you ladies ever encountered a situation where maybe there was like that weird awkward moment of silence on the first date?
Yes.
And
It's hard to say. Like I literally have a list. I have a note on my phone with like probably like 80 questions of like first date questions. And so I'm not asking them all.
can you read us some of those questions
Um okay, sure. Hold on.
on the
Yeah,
type
so
of
I have a
first
list
date?
of questions, right?
So yeah, let's hear some.
Oh, okay, let me choose a few ones.
The main reason men get married is to start a family, and you reach your 40. Same thing that happened to Ebony K. Williams. Her standards were so high, and she reached her 40s that she had to go through a sperm bank because she was literally in the last years where she could have a healthy pregnancy. Why do you think men would want to commit to you for marriage? They're just going to use you for a long-term girlfriend. Prep to this aspect, unfortunately, for guys, but you have to be able to think on your feet a little bit and also incorporate some elements of the person that you met, whether it was online and you checked out their Instagram profile or just through texting and FaceTiming, possibly before the date. You want to make sure that you have topics and conversations before you actually go on that first date. Have you ladies ever encountered a situation where maybe there was like an awkward moment of silence on the first date?
Yes.
And was that an immediate
Yes.
turn off? And no.
That to me like defines like a boring anything. It don't have to be a date, a conversation with anyone. If it's kind of like it feels like an interview and it's kind of just like you're just going through motion with questions, or there's no questions at all. It's like, all right, hard pass for me.
It's hard to say because I feel like I've gone on so many dates that I'm prepared. Like I literally have a list, like I have a note on my phone with like probably like 80 questions of like first date questions. And so I feel like
You have
depending like I
a
do I
list
do
on
my
your
prep
phone with
work.
80 questions?
Yeah,
That's a
listen,
lot.
I know I'm not
Wait,
asking them
wait, wait,
all.
wait,
I'm not asking them all.
wait,
I'm
wait,
just
wait.
saying I have a catalog to go through. So me for my preparation for a first date, from what I know about him, I'll choose like maybe like five, six, seven of those questions that I can like pepper in that are interesting and engaging if the conversation takes like a lull. So
Can
that's
you read us some of those questions?
um okay, sure. Hold on.
So these aren't things you remembered. So you just have a list of questions and you kind of choose them based on the type
Yes,
of
so
men
I
that
have
you're
a list
dating.
of questions, right? And then before my first date, I'll like check a couple. And if you check them, it goes to the bottom. So then I'll have some checked so that in my mind, that, like I said, if it's a lull, then I can kind of like do a quick little like glance or I'll have a couple at the top of my head just to keep conversation going if it becomes like, a lull. So it's like,
So yeah, let's hear some.
so okay, let me choose a few one. Okay.
What would you what would you
So
what would you all
so
right, say you're on a date with me, hypothetical. Let's go into a dream world. Me
okay.
and you.
Okay.
What would be some of the questions you would ask me to kill the awkward silence?
Okay, well, I like to prepare for stuff. So I don't know that much about you. So I would tailor the questions that I had on standby to you. But like the ones that I have here, like when's the last time you stole something? That's a good one to get like conversation going. And then would you rather be the worst player on the best team or the best player on an okay team? Or what is your biggest fear about the future? What in life do you feel most grateful for? Why do you like me?
These are really
Let me
in-depth
see.
questions.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you move? Would you rather be bored or stressed? So, like, depending on what I know about the person, I would choose from like some of them are serious, some of them are lighthearted, some of them are silly, like kind of personal. It just depends on like the dynamic that we've already established before our first date. That is how I avoid conversation. But it's like, tell me about a time you almost died. What's the weirdest habit that you have? Like, it's a lot of questions. So, like I said, I'll
How
choose
do
a
the guys
couple.
typically
I'm good at this. I'm good at this thing called dating here. So I'm not like it's not like an interview, but I'll have the questions top of mind, so I feel like if there's a good segue, I'll like pepper it in, or like it's not like I'm not gonna sit here and read them like I just read to you all,
Yeah.
but I might be like, you know what, I just thought of, let me ask you this or something like that. It's never like yes or no questions. It's always like an answer, and then you elaborate, and then it gets the train rolling again. If so,
Do you,
Hey, here's my plan, right? Right now, I have zero problems finding a man who meets my criteria. If at some point it gets more difficult, once I start to see that, oh, men aren't approaching me, men aren't hitting on me, men aren't treating me the way I used to be treated, then I'll relax on my standards because then it'll be necessary. But until it becomes necessary, why would I do that? Because I'm not having a problem at this point
by
finding
then it'll be
somebody
too
who
late.
meets. No, it won't be too late. It's not
You're
like it's
okay.
not
You're
like
33.
yes.
When is geriatric pregnancy?
35.
35. You have 2
Mm-hmm.
years.
2 years to what? People have children up until their 40s. I have a friend who just had a baby at 39. I have friends that have
Yeah, but
babies at 40s.
it's very high risk though. It's not something that you want to make a practice out of.
I mean, if I don't have kids, also, the thing is, to your point, if kids was very, very important to me, then I would have approached dating very differently. Like,
Well,
I have
that's the
been,
thing you're not understanding. Kids are very important to men. That's one of the main reasons men get married is for to start a family. Why
I'll
would you
take my
say
chances.
why would you want to? This is what I'm saying though. But if you this is why the whole probability and the statistics matter is because men are typically only interested in marriage, which I'm guessing is something that you want, because they want to start a family. So why would they choose someone who's in their later years of their life when they're a successful man who's 6 foot making $120,000 per year when they can go get the 25-year-old
You
who
know
can have a
why?
bunch of kids?
You know why? As like I said, as I've already answered this question, as I age, as my options change, I will change my standards. Like right now, I don't date men with kids, and I don't date. Obviously, I don't date married men, but I don't date men with kids. But if I reach an age where I'm still single and I'm 40, maybe I'll start dating men with kids. Maybe if I realize if I get to a point where I can't have children, then I'm not going to date men with no children. I'm going to start to date men with children because then they won't expect that out of me. What I'm
But would
saying
you be
is,
okay with not getting married?
that's not what I want.
Right, but if you keep holding this off, right? Think about it. If you keep holding this off, and we know that the main reason men get married is to start a family, and you reach your 40s, same thing that happened to Ebony K. Williams. Her standards were so high, and she reached her 40s that she had to go to a sperm bank because she was literally in the last years where she could have a healthy pregnancy. Why do you think men would want to commit to you for marriage? They're just going to use you for a long-term girlfriend.
I just
They're
told
never going to
you.
get
I
married
will.
to you though.
Well, how do you know? How do you know? I know plenty of
Chances
people.
chances are chances are they won't get married to you
Is it a four
because
percent
you're
chance? Because right now, 4% chance is looking good in my favor. What I'm saying is, as I age and my options change, so will my behaviors. It's very simple. Right now, I have my standards because those have been working for me. I haven't had an issue finding men that meet those. If I'm 38 and suddenly I decide that I want to get married and I want to have children immediately, then I'm going to approach dating differently. And if I'm 45 and never married and no kids, I'm going to approach dating differently. And I might decide that I don't want to get married. I might change things. So that's what life is about. It's life is dynamic. It's about being adaptable. So what I'm saying is I'm a very like realistic person, and realistically at this point in time, what I want from somebody I've been able to get. The only thing that has been elusive has been the interpersonal connection that I feel, right? The superficial standards have not been hard to find at all. The moment that they do, then I'll change my standards.